upwards. So they've not asked us direct question, especially grade level 14, 15, and 16. Be expecting case studies. All right. Good evening once again, distinguished colleagues and member of the Public Service Knowledge of Family. We are all welcome to yet another impactful session in our ongoing 2026 promotion tutorial series. Tonight's topic, understanding the retirement process, preparing of a seamless transition from service. It's a must listen for every public servant, whether nearing retirement or still growing in service. As a public officer, planning ahead for life after service is not just about pension documentation. It is about understanding our rights, responsibilities, and the steps that guarantee peace of mind as the end of a fulfilling career. To lead us in this enlightening discussion, we are honored to host Mrs. Morenikeji Makinde from Lagos State Pension Commission, LASPE. She is a widely regarded as a pension and retirement a seasoned administrator with years of hand-on experience in pension management and retirement processing within the Lagos State Public Service. Her clarity, warmth, and deep understanding of the system make her one of the most trusted voices in pension administration. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a rich, interactive, and practical session that will help you prepare not only for your next promotion, but also for a seamless transition from service. Please join me as we warmly welcome our facilitator, Mrs. Makinde. Can you please let me see your emojis? Can you use your emojis to welcome her? We have more than 300 here. I'm seeing how many emojis there. This is not enough for her. It's like you don't want her. You don't want to see her. If you don't want to see her, maybe we should stop the call.
Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm sure a lot of people are.
All right, thank you. Good evening, ma. Welcome, ma.
Good evening.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much, everyone, for the love. I see hearts, I see the hands. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. And I hope that after this brief session with you, you will not just be prepared adequately for your promotion exercise, but you would have gained one or two knowledge that will help you not just for today, but for tomorrow, as well as for others around you. So please, I will try as much as possible not to rush my presentation, but I'm more than willing after this session to take your questions as well. So yes, my name is Morenike Makinde, and I'm the head of the technical department at Lagos State Pension Commission. And basically what we do is that we manage and supervise everything that has to do with pension administration in Lagos State. Anytime you need to exit the system, we are your go-to guys. And so I would give you all the information that is relevant, some of the updates that we have to the Lagos State Pension Law of 2007. And I hope that we'll have a wonderful time. So let me not waste much of your time. Let me just go on directly. So really, retirement. I mean, what is this all about? I don't want to leave now. I still have 10 more years to go. I still have 5 more years to go. Well, at some point, we would all leave the system. My people will say, office Lumareya Kowe, you know what that means, that everyone at one point in time will need to leave the service. But there are so many ways to exit the system. And if you are not armed with the right information, a lot of people have made series of mistakes, particularly in the Lagos State Public Service. So it's important for you to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. I think that's very important. All right. So I'll run through my slides and then I'll share other things with you that I think are very critical for you. So, of course, we understand that the Lagos State pension law was enacted in 2007, on the 19th of March 2007. So it became operational from the 1st of April 2007. What does that mean? It means that if you join the service of the Lagos State government on or before the 31st of March 2007, you have a benefit. You have what is called a pre-benefit, pre-CPS benefit. Because under the old scheme that a lot of people refer to as pay as you go, we know few people that belong to that scheme. But it will interest you to note that both the old scheme, the old scheme, everything is under the Lagos State Pension Commission. So I'll be running through all the different schemes. Currently, we have just the defined benefit scheme, but there are some people who joined the service before 1976. Those old Baba, they are still under the Lagos State. Their administration is actually still under the Lagos State Pension Commission. So I'll run through some of those, and then where it concerns you, I will let you know. So if you join the service of Lagos State government before the 31st of March 2007, those category of people qualifies for what you commonly hear as bond. What is bond? Because the new law became effective on the 1st of April 2007, it means that if you are joined before that date, you have some benefits with the Lagos State government. At least when the new schemes started, you were still in service. So, they didn't ask you to resign. They didn't ask you to, leave or retire you statutorily or voluntarily. You were still in system. And then the new scheme, started right there. So if you retire at this moment and you joined anytime from 1990, 1991, and all of that, up until, 2007, March 2007, you will qualify for what is commonly called bond. It is the full meaning is actually the Lagos State Retirement Bond Certificate. And why did we have to do that? Based on the pension law of 2004, one thing you should note is that several states will behave or do as they wish, but pension, just like defense, no state can wake up on its own and decide that I want to start my own Nigerian Army, Lagos State version, or would get up one day and say, I want to start my own Lagos State Police. It is the same thing with pension. It is under the exclusive list of legislature. It means that the federal government has the power to legislate, which is why I'm sure if you're familiar or you have people who have retired, you will hear PENCOM, because the National Pension Commission is actually the body, is the regulator of the pension scheme. So what other states have only done is that each state will look at what the federal government had done and then take, a copy from it. You can domesticate that law, but you must not deviate from it. You understand? So as Lagos State Pension Commission, LASPEC, is responsible for the supervision and administration of pension matters in Lagos State, the National Pension Commission is the federal regulator. So they regulate the PFAs that you see. They are the ones who issue licenses, both to PFA, to the banks that are in, keep custody of our funds, because the funds are not with the PFAs. They do the day-to-day, the routine check up balances and all of that. But the cash, all the monies, all our contributions are not with the PFA, they are with the pension fund custodian. We refer to them as the PFC. Why am I going to this story? For you to understand, because a lot of times when we talk to people, they say, I don't even understand this pension. Maybe because, I mean, we're not ready to leave service. But for your own use as well, it's important that you know, I mean, what truly is going on in that state. So PFAs, PFAs, they don't have access to your cash. To all the funds that are being contributed, they do not have access. It is big banks that have custody of those funds, but they do the bookkeeping, the administration, the checking and balancing. That is what they do, but they don't keep your cash. So you have the PFAs and you have the PFCs, and both of them are being regulated by the National Pension Commission. So last spec, so are we being regulated by PENCOM? Absolutely not. But however, they also have the right to come and check our operations, what we are doing. Because remember, I said the Lagos State pension law actually is a prototype of the national pension law. Okay, so it's important for us to have that background before we may go into the full details. So why is it important? Why are we doing this? Why are we saving in the first place? It is because for everybody under the contributory pension scheme, if you joined, just like I said, when you joined maybe 2009, 2010, if you decide to leave the service today, the Lagos State government would only issue you a clearance and ask LASPEC to give you clearance so that you can go and have access to your money. The Lagos State government will not owe you a dime. If you joined after the 1st of April 2007, the government you are free. However, for you to be totally free, I will tell you other things that you need to do. But in terms of, are they going to pay me my money, my entitlement? There's nothing like that, because your funds, your remittances are already sitting in your PFA, your RSA account, and it's being it's generating income for you. So it's important for you to understand how the scheme works. Like I mentioned, the Lagos State law was enacted in 2007. But we have amended that law twice now. We amended in 2019 and we amended in 2021. It's important for you to note. And few of the amendments, some of the changes that we made, I just want to highlight that to you. I'm already going into the presentation proper. We have made two major amendments. We have the Lagos State, the Amended Act of 2019 and 2021. In 2019, some of the changes we made, they are very silent, and it's important for you to note that you need to know why. So some of the changes we have made is that in the Lagos State Pension Act of 2007, some section says that if somebody is owing, maybe you are owing cooperative, you are owing housing and all of that, and you leave, we can use part of your benefits, the ones that comes under the old scheme, to offset some of those things. So the law is clearly saying don't touch any funds in the RSA. Clearly, do not touch it. Another one, which I know that, there are a lot of contentions about it, is about contract staff. The Lagos State Pension Law of 2007 stated that at the beginning that this pension law, Lagos State Pension Reform Act, is for all Lagos State public service in the Ministry of Lagos, of SUBEB, of Teaching Service Commission, blah, blah, blah. But one word that we amended was, it said this law is for all pensionable staff. That was what the law said, the initial one, the 2007 Lagos State Pension Reform Act. Said this law is for all pensionable staff of the local government, of the Civil Service Commission, of this. When we amended in 2019, we took out that pensionable. That word, that frame, pensionable, that phrase rather, we took it out. And so effectively, the law says that anybody in the employment of Lagos State qualifies to be pensionable. That is another thing for Ministry of Estab or Civil Service Commission to effect. But that's what the law says. And so if somebody, you employ someone and you say they are contract staff, project staff, but for how long are they going to be project staff? So you can't keep them more than, the duration of the contract. If you keep them and you keep renewing every year, are they still contract or they are pensionable staff? So, I mean, those are some of the areas that we need to look at, okay? Another one says, if somebody is dismissed, I'm just trying to highlight the major things that we amended. If a staff is dismissed, before that law was amended, it was stated in the Lagos State Pension Reform Act that the employer's contribution, we have employer, we all have our RSC statement. The employer's contribution must be refunded if that person is dismissed. But when we amended the law, it says that you cannot touch anybody's RSA, whether dismissed for any reason whatsoever, whether the person has committed fraud, and you have to find another way to deal with the person. Why? Because the law believes that he or she must have worked and earned, those contributions at the time. So pension funds is not subject to maybe criminal judgment, and you can't touch anybody's pension fund. And this is to help safeguard, our retirement, such that, pensioners are not subjected to penury in old age. I have said just few things that we have amended that I know will be of interest to you in the Lagos State Pension Reform Act. So please note it that we have amended the law twice, in 2019 and in 2021. Okay, so major highlights. What are the things that have happened or that are still happening in the pension industry? It will be, I think it will be nice for you to note that unlike in the past, even when we pay you and we have cleared you, we have issued clearance to the PFA to say, oh, this person is free, no encumbrance, no, go pay this person. It still takes time because they will forward your application to the National Pension Commission before they can pay you. And this is important for me to note, or for you to note, that your funds still cannot, the PFA cannot they can't even move 1 naira from your fund without getting an approval from the National Pension Commission. That shows you how risk averse, if I may use that word, or how secured the pension industry is at the moment. So, but before now, it takes time. Once we have even made payments, we have issued clearance, it still takes time for them to get approval and then to pay. But now, the rule is that PFAs don't need to get approval from the National Pension Commission any longer. If all your documents are complete, you have submitted all that is due, within 48 hours, your account must be credited, either with your lump sum, your 25%, or your monthly pension. So for you to know that a lot of changes are actually going on in that scheme. Of course, recapitalization is is ongoing in the industry. Big PFAs are buying small PFAs, so it's important for you to note that they are getting stronger. It is also important for you to note that if you have been on the scheme for the past 10 years, almost all the PFAs have actually doubled your contributions. So if your total, if you have a comprehensive look at your retirement savings account statement, you can go to any PFA and ask them to give it to you and look at it. This is not something that is hidden. Look at what you have contributed over time and look at the income that you have earned. You will find out that for most of the big PFAs, if you have contributed, let's say I'm giving you hypothetically a figure now, maybe you have contributed 6 million. You would have seen that most PFA have returned 100% income on that your 6 million. So please, it's important that not just for this exercise alone, that you understand what is going on in your RSA account. If there are missing funds, I'll come back to that. But I just needed to say that. So recapitalization is going on. And if you check your RSA and you don't see good returns, you have the opportunity to move. Once a year, you can actually move through the transfer window to any PFA of your choice. It's also important for you to know that you can use 25% of your RSA balance as equity for mortgage. Okay, we have issued a lot of clearance letters for people, for civil servants, both civil and public servants, even to be able to access mortgage. But how do you do this? Please visit your PFA first. Have that discussion with them. The home you are trying to buy, and it's not for business, it is only for residential purpose alone. It is only for residential purpose. And so you can use 25% of your balance, of your RSA balance, to be able to part finance mortgage. But please, you must have at least 5 more years. I think between 3 and 5 more years before you retire. These are part of the requirement for you to qualify. Another major highlight in the industry is what we call the additional voluntary contribution. That's one window that a lot of us are not making use of. Even in LASPEC, I know. But this will help you, even if you don't need the money now, even if what is coming into the RSA account is not as significant as you would expect. Additional voluntary contribution will give you a step higher than your peers. So let me give you an example. If you are on level 12, you're level 13, and you know a certain amount that go, it will be almost the same thing for almost everybody on that grade level and step. Whatever goes into your RSA, you can augment it. So you can write to your office or to CPDVD or STO through your office, telling them that please every month, please deduct an additional maybe 20,000 into my RSA. The truth of the matter is every year. So if you contribute fully for this year, the next year you can have 50% of what you contributed this year. So it's not just money going to your RSA. You only have access to 50%. They will not allow you to draw everything. So, but even if you decide not to move the money, so for contingency, you can quickly just take what you have saved. But that money cannot come from another source. It must come from your salary. It's important to know that the additional voluntary contribution must come from your salary. It can't come from anywhere else. But at the same time, when you retire, if you decide to leave it just to boost what you will earn on a monthly as pension, the person or people who retired on the same grade level as you will earn more than them because what you will have in your account will be higher. Remember that what you have in your RSA is being invested and is compound on compound. You're compounding whatever balance you have. So if you have contributed an additional, maybe say 1 million or 2 million, it will earn you more money. And so somebody who retired on the same grade level with you will definitely not earn as much as you do. So we can also help to boost our current contributions that are going into the account. Another key thing that I know that we don't talk about enough is the multi-fund structure. You see, PFAs, of course, they differ, which is why it is our responsibility to know what is going on in our RSA. Don't just leave it, oh, Mongba alert. Alert is nothing. Alert does not even tell you what is going on. Okay? Alert has nothing. Yes, it's good that you're receiving alert, but have you seen your RSA? Have you asked them for the statement is free? So have you requested for one? Please take a look at it and check and see where you are. So I will talk about the multi-fund structure. I think I need to move quickly. This is 8:30. I want to talk about the multi-fund structure and what you can do. So if you open an RSA account with any of the PFA, okay, they are likely to put you in either Fund 1 or Fund 2. What does that mean? The fund type, there are about 6 fund types. And what the difference between one and another is that the risk appetite of, the risk profile of each fund is different. If somebody retires they will not, they will not invest in high risk asset or equities for such person. What they will do is put your money, once you retire, they move your money from they don't ask you. They will move it from where it is, from either fund 1 or fund 2, and put it in fund 4. Fund 4 is low risk. They know you're a retiree. They cannot afford to be taking some risk, be investing in risky assets so that you can earn more interest. They cannot do that. They have to be very conservative. So if you are between the ages of 20 something to about 49, if your contributions are being invested in fund 1, you will have more returns, but it is subject to high risk. So if the market is doing very well, your balance, your RSA balance will be more than somebody in fund 3 or fund 4. Your returns on investment will be higher. Okay. But if you once you clock so fund 1 and fund 2 is actually for people between the ages of maybe say 18 or 49. That's the gap. So they will either put you in fund 1 or fund 2. Fund 1 is open to fund 2 members because it's the same risk profile. But fund 2, if perchance you now find out, oh, maybe my fund is actually in fund 2. Fund 2 members, you can say, I want to be in fund 1. Fund 1 is more aggressive, but the returns are higher. So you can choose to be in fund 1. It also means that high risk, high profile. So if they invest in high risk and there are losses, of course, your returns, of course, would take a hit. But if you are the risky type, I'm young now, I can afford to take risk. Check. I'm still below 50. Please, where are you putting my fund? Is it in fund 1? Is it in fund 2? If they tell you, oh, well, you are in fund 2 and you are the risky type, why not? You tell them you can move to fund 1. Fund 3 members, once you clock fund 3, nobody's asking you for anything. They just move you to fund 3. Once you clock 50, they move your funds to fund 3. Okay. But you can also tell the PFA, no, I don't want to be conservative. I still have 10 more years to go. Please put me back in fund 2. You understand? So you can say, I don't want to be conservative because fund 2 is more balanced. Fund 1 is aggressive. Fund 2 is more balanced. But fund 3, they're already, calculating the number of years you have left. So they are being conservative and all of that. So if your fund is in fund 3, you can request. You will have to fill a form and all of that. And then they can move your fund back to fund 2. Okay. So automatically, when you retire, they move your fund to fund 6. Nobody wants to hear story. So all retirees fund are in fund 4. They move it there. Fund 5 is for micro pension, people in the informal sector, and fund 6 is a non-interest, is Muslim kind of fund. So if you want that, you're a Muslim, you don't want your contributions to earn anything, you can ask them also, okay, to move you. But really, fund 6 is for people who are ethical, and so you can have all these discussions with your PFA. I hope you are having a good time because I'm mindful of the time, and I'm trying to do as much as I can. Thank you very much, Engineer. I appreciate that. Mr. Mudashiru, thank you very much. Mujida, God bless you. Oh, Abimbola Grillo, thank you very much. All right, let me quickly run. So, yes, another thing, I want to talk briefly about documentation. Oh, God bless you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. Thank you very much. Documentation. So I'm sure you know somebody who has retired maybe 2022. Oh, what is some pension me? I don't know. But yeah, I have to know somebody. Each time I hear that, I'm always very upset. I will say, no, you don't have to know anybody in last week. And I tell you with all confidence that you don't have to. But what is important and where a lot of us, where we lag behind, is in documentation. You know, the Lagos State government will actually organize pre-retirement seminars twice a year for people who are about to retire, who have about 6 months to retire. Of course, we are trying to make few amendments to that. But the essence is documentation. If you want to jackpot tomorrow and you don't put your documents in properly, you will travel, you will go, you will come back, and nothing would have been done. Why? Because some things require your presence. I know some people say, I want my baby share. There's so much people can help you with. At some point, we might need something, and then you are nowhere to be found. Nobody can pull that document out for us. It is important that we know that. Okay. So part of the documentation is what I want to talk about. If you fall into the category of people who do not have accrued rights, people who qualified for the Lagos State Retirement Bond Certificate, it is important to know that yours is straightforward. But please, oh, you want to leave, please ensure that you tidy up documentation with your Director of Admin and HR. Give them notification. Ensure you have your receipt. Ensure everything is done as it should. When you are no longer here, it becomes tedious because you would have to send people, and if they don't understand the system, that's where a lot of people get stuck. So another thing that I need to say, and with years of experience, is that some people will say, oh, need it. Oh, I have realized that you will need the money. And it's not because it being power or they're not okay. But you will then realize at some point that I have worked for Lagos State. I need my money. It is my money. Oftentimes, some people, they don't even relocate. They join maybe a private organization. I give you an example. For us to take the keynote, somebody was joined the Health Service Commission as a doctor. It was not even confirmed before he left. He left, he didn't drop any letter, he just left. Maybe, I don't know what happened, but he left like that. And he went on, joined the private sector. Of course, doctor did very well. And then when he was ready, at what age? Over 60. When he was ready, and I think he just had a brief, because it was not even confirmed before he left Lagos State. And then he had a lot of fund in his RSA. You should note one thing. If you ever work with Lagos State and our contribution goes into your RSA, you cannot do anything without Lagos State too. So no PFA will attend to you without getting clearance from Lagos State. You can't, there's no way out of it. No PFA will touch your fund. They will not pay you your dues. They will ask you to go back to Lagos State to get clearance. So it doesn't matter whether it's 6 months, this thing is not paying me. Please, before you go, do what you have to do. Do the proper documentation, because that's where a lot of people get stuck, especially when you now have large amounts of money in that account. So he came back, and then, of course, we went to the PFA. The PFA sent him back, and we're like, sorry, we don't have your records. That's where the issue started. That process, of course, he knows some key people in Lagos State. It still took him more than 6 months to be able to sort that problem. And so God forbid that you are in dire need of funds, and funds is actually lying in that account. This process, these bottlenecks, if you don't tidy it up, that's where the issue is. That bottleneck will be there, and it will be, you can imagine how tasking that process will be. So documentation is not just for, oh, I want to retire. Tidy it up now. If you know that maybe in another 1 year, you're already planning to go to Canada, blah, blah, please do the needful. Come on, see, because eventually, and those things that you ought to do when you are here and you're not able to do it, so please, it's important that you put documentation in your forefront. Be mindful of it. So what are the documents we need, and what do you need actually? So if you joined before the old scheme was discontinued, your documentation, please complete with your admin and HR. You have 6 months to go, you have 1 year to go. You can start asking, please, just give me a list. They all have the list. Your Director of Admin and HR, they all have the list. What do I need? Oh, this clearance, that clearance, give them notice. Because another thing that people are not aware of is that notice of 6 months, it is a key requirement, because if you don't give that 6 months retirement, notice, you will be penalized. And that sum is always FT, I know. So for those who have or who have the accrued right, we will just take that money out of their benefit. Nobody will tell you that we have deducted the money, but your penalty will be there. So, and it is monetary. It's not just, okay, I missed the deadline. They will penalize you for that. So it's important that you know, depending on where you worked, your director of admin and HR will give you the last spec form, ask them for it, fill your information adequately. If you're a parastatal staff, you work with an agency, you don't need to complete the last spec form. Your agency would write, they will write to us, put all your information when you joined. If they had to pay you your past benefit, they would have done that before even writing to last spec. So if you are working in LTV, not LRS now, LRS depending on when you joined, other agencies, they would have to have completed and paid all your benefits before sending your letter. So they can't ask us to clear you when they have not done the needful. So it's important that we take note of all of this. But if you join the service after April 2007, the same process is still what you have to do. Please, your director of admin and HR, you need them. You can't, there's nothing to hide eventually. They will be the one to either bury it or, so you need them. They are very important in this process. If you joined Lagos State government from another state, if you join Lagos State government from another state, and if it is transfer of service, you consolidated your service at some point, it is important that you have all your records. There are no assumptions. There's even nothing like assumptions. I give you another example of that. A woman, she worked, I think she started her career in Anambra, and of course, maybe as a school start, and then she went to university while she was still working there, and she served there. After her service, I think she worked for maybe a year or so, and then transferred her service to Lagos State. When she transferred her service to Lagos State. When she transferred, I don't know if she forgot, I don't know what happened. And so she has spent about 5 years in Anambra, and then came to Lagos State and still did a normal 35 years. I don't know how that was not found out. And then the truth is, she was getting promoted, I think it was 3 years difference, so thereabout. And then she retired as a director. When it was time to pay her accrued rights, we calculated her accrued rights. The auditor said, oh, she overstayed with this number of years. Our total benefit, the past benefit was over 9 million naira. The salary for 3 years as a full director was over 14 million. So if you assume that alone salary, well, okay, let's start breaking it down. That's when you know that what you receive is not, is nothing. If you consider it not significant, it is. And so how will she be able to pay? She has retired. The benefits that we can actually hold on to was only 9 million, but she's owing the government 14 million. Okay, so till today, she retires since 2018. She is not able to access anything, not the one with the government or not the one with the PFA, because you must get clearance from LASPEC to be able to assess what you have with the PFA. So please, I'm giving these examples so that we recognize the importance of documentation. It's not just for what's it called, promotion exercise alone, for your own use. And no knowledge is lost. This is something you will need at some point. So it's important that we key into all of this information, and what's it called, please take note of it, and let's use it when the need arises. All right, so these are some of the documents that you would need. Sorry, I'm looking for, okay, all right. These are some of the documents you would need. Please just note it. This is not all, but these are some of the documents you would need. You will need, what's it called? I already mentioned the last spec form. That's very important. Your record of service must be accurately progressed. Okay, if it is not properly done, that is what causes most of the time causes delay for a lot of people. They will send it back, won't progress, pada, and all of that. Your last spec form, if it's not stamped, you'll be going back and forth. So the stress involved in getting this thing done, I mean, it's, what's the right word? I'm looking for a right word. It's mindless. Let's just do what we have to do. Not just that you will notify your employer you're retiring. Please ensure that there's acceptance. If it is not accepted, that's another problem. The back and forth, which when you have retired or when you're about to retire with you and your former employer, it is unnecessary. Copy of all promotion letters, asset declaration, certificate from Code of Conduct Bureau from grade level 10 and above, copy of your letter of appointment, confirmation letter, PFA welcome letter. The list, you don't even, I mean, you don't have to memorize this because this should be shared with you where you're about to retire. Certified true copies of all debt clearance letters. And this brings me to another critical point. Please, if you are to borrow from any cooperative, get your clearance. A life example, just last week, the man retired since 2015. He's over 70, and we are yet to pay his benefit. Why? Because he borrowed from his former cooperative, and there has been a lot of back and forth. Oh, he stole our money. He did this. It became a court case. They gave judgment. We are still battling, and the cooperative is still battling with the man. There's so much. Of course, I know the rules about, cooperatives changing their names so that Lagos State government can be sued. I understand all of that. I'm just saying that it is needless. If you have tidied up that end, 2050, even if you are to collect 10 million naira in 2050, is it worth the same value in 2025? Absolutely not. So there are some needless pain. I mean, we don't even need to go through them at all if we do the right thing at the right time. Personalized vehicle clearance letter from PSO. If you're from grade level 15 and above, whether you have one or not, please, you need to get this. Your retirement saving, retirement savings statement from your PFA. We usually ask for a comprehensive one, 2007 to date. Please check. But one thing I will leave you with, I'm almost rounding up. I said that receiving alert is not enough because we assume that everything is good. But please, visit your PFA and tell them to give you. You want to see everything. Because some of us, it is after we have retired or we have left the system that you will realize that you have some months or even years that are missing. Though your contribution was deducted, but it was never remitted into your RSA. What does that mean? You have not only lost contribution, you have also lost income for that period. Some of us, other people's fund, maybe due to one mistake or the other, is sitting in our RSA. Maybe ours is also sitting in another person's RSA. So there's so much that we can do now. You can see that a lot of the responsibility when it comes to pension is on you or on me. It is something that you must do. And nobody really can do this for you. Sit down, get that statement, and check it month on month. April 2007, May, miss, put it out. Miss, if you find out that you have a whole lot, please write it out. And go and look for the pay slip for that period. Go and look for the pay slip. If you notice maybe in a particular year, 5 months is missing, go and just get one for that year. If you notice another year, maybe 6 or 7 months is missing, even if it's only one, you can lay hold on. Once you see the pay slip, check, was pension deducted? If pension was deducted, then we can look for where that money is. If it wasn't deducted, Otilo, that's the truth. because it means that you have been paid your pension with your salary. Okay. And if there is no leg, if there's no leg, no employee leg, there will not be any employer leg as well. So it's important that we pay attention. That's not just for today, till we leave the service. This is something we must keep an eye on. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, all we have here is just on the computation sheet. I don't know how useful this is, but on the computation sheet, which is what we call your accrued right, or we use to calculate your, if you qualify for bond, Lagos State Pension Bond Certificate, we use the key indices is your date of birth, is your age, your date of assumption, your grade level and step, and your gender. Those ones, you cannot miss them. And I repeat that again. These are the key indices or index here that are used to calculate your past benefits, usually referred to as bond. We use your date of birth, we use your gender, we use your date of assumption, your grade level and step as at 31st of March 2007. Yeah, what else? What did I miss? Dates of birth, dates of assumption, grade level and step, your gender. Yes. And so these are the key factors that determines what you get at any point in time. And lastly, I would say, without your retirement savings account, you cannot access your pension benefit. It's surprising to note that some people do not have a retirement savings account, even in this Lagos State public sector. I don't know how they're doing it, but for whatever reason they're doing that, they will be the one to lose at the end of the day. It's important that without RSA, you cannot access your pension. Nobody will pay you by check. Nobody will pay you any other way, or that you must have one. Even if you worked in another state and that state is not on the contributory pension scheme, when you are coming to process your Lagos State share, we will force you to open one, because every payment must go through a retirement savings account. And so it's important that you start early. Any delay on your part will ultimately delay payment. And more importantly, choose your pension plan wisely. I give you a 5 minutes nugget on choosing your pension plan. We are well aware that we have the program withdrawal and we have the annuity. Yes. Don't let anybody lie to you. Both of them are for life. The difference between the two of them is in death. Tolojoba day, what happens? Under the program withdrawal, because you have statement, your beneficiary can always, when they get the proper document ready, whether a will that has been admitted, into the probate, or a letter of administration, they can have whatever you have left in your balance, in your RSA account. With annuity, it is not so. Annuity has a guaranteed period of 10 years. It is annuity that has guaranteed period of 10 years. What that means is, if you start drawing pension on annuity and everything is fine, you're getting your monthly pension, and the person dies under the guarantee period, maybe you have collected pension for 5 years and the person dies, it means that 5 years payment is what will be given to the beneficiary. But after the guarantee period of 10 years and the retiree dies, the beneficiary gets nothing. They get nothing. So both of them, for as long as you are alive, will pay you. The program withdrawal has what is called, in case you actually exhaust your post, you have been drawing pension for 30 years, like we have under the old scheme. Some people have even drawn like 40 years after they retired from the scheme and they are still alive. Under the program withdrawal, the law states that even if you now don't have any money again, the PFA will still have to pay you something for as long as you are alive. For annuity as well, for as long as you are alive, they will pay you. But after 10 years, which is the guaranteed period, if somebody dies under the annuity, your beneficiary, nothing like that happens. But under the PFA, if you still have any balance, whatever balance you have after documentation will be given to your beneficiary. I think I have shared as much as I can. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. I will await your questions. Thank you very much. Over to you, Mr. Jami.
Thank you very much, ma. Please,
Thank
can I
you.
see your emojis if you enjoy the session, the lecture? Let your
Thank you.
emojis come up, please. Oh, it means you didn't enjoy the.
I can see the love. They did. They did. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Okay, now. Oh.
This love is too much. Thank you.
We are over 300 on this call, and we have like 100 too on our YouTube live
Oh
streaming.
wow. Oh wow.
Please, if you want to ask your question, your name, your ministry, and let your question be brief, please. No story. If you need our facilitator help, I will share her number later. You can, call her for other things. But for tonight, let's focus on the question, especially what we think might be covered from the promotion, especially our life, our career towards the retirement. Thank you for the MO. So I will call on Dari Aminat. Dari Aminat, you have the floor.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Can you hear me? Good evening.
Good
Please,
evening.
I want to ask
You are
question.
audible.
Good evening. When
Your name and your ministry.
I'm from Ministry of Science. My name is Dari Aminat Ajoke from Ministry of Science and Technology.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. When I joined the service, the first 6 months, my PFA was not remitted to my PFA account. And since then, I've been to Pension Commission to report then, because I joined the service in 2012. The first 9 months, they did not remit my pension to my PFA, which is legal. All my effort, they asked me to bring my payslip, bring everything. I submit, but I didn't see the reflection on my accounts. I don't know, maybe you can enlighten me on that, ma. Thank you,
Okay,
ma.
yes, it's fine. But your payslip reflected that they deducted pension, right? Did you check your payslip to know whether pension was deducted during that period, the 9 months period? If it was deducted, you can still visit our office. We are now at the Revenue House on the 4th floor with the payslip, please.
Aminat, are you still with us?
Okay, ma, I'm there. Okay, I will
Okay.
visit your office, ma. Thank you very much, ma.
All right, welcome.
Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
Engineer Williams, you have the floor. Your name, your ministry, and your brief question. Engineer Williams, unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. I really appreciate today's topic on the pension. It's very inspiring. It's very nice. But my question relates to the first lady that asked the
Sorry,
question.
sir. Sorry, sir. Your name.
My
and
name is
ministry.
Engineer Williams from Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources.
All right, sir.
So my question concerns relate to the first lady that asked the question. I'll complain. I experienced this thing of past 3 years 3 years, 2 years, about the money deducted from my monthly salary. It reflects on my payslip. But when I went to my PFA, my Islamic IBTC, when I asked for the statement of account, it was not, the money was not reflecting on my statement of account. Money was not deposited. It's not 1 month, it's not 2 months, it's about 8 months. You know, it's not regular like that, but when the count of from the statement shows that about 8 months, money was not remitted, but deducted from the payslip. And then I printed the payslip out. When I printed it out, I went to the LASPEC, pension from LASPEC. There was one man called Omobadi, I don't know that Maria is there. I complained to him. He asked me for my statement. I showed the statement and my current payslip. They correspond. They have to check the month that the money was remitted. They checked it. I submitted it. They said they will rectify it. I waited for the last 3 months, 4 months. No money was remitted. No money was remitted back. I went back again. By the time they start paying the money, they will pay 2 months out of 8 months. They pay 1 month. It took me 1.5 years going up and down, up and down, up and down. And this thing has been happening. I want to believe that I'm not the only one expressing this thing. My question is that what's the cause? Why money will be deducted from your monthly salary and it's not reflected in your RSA? I don't understand. Money will be deducted and it's not reflected. Is it hanging somewhere or money was borrowed somewhere? I don't really understand. And how can this thing be about? Because it's happening to several people that they cannot even have any chance to even come to and complain.
Engineer, sir, sorry to cut you short, sir, because of time.
Okay, sir.
So your question has been noted. So let's hear from her, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. And I think I share in your the pain of what you're saying. And I know that that happens to quite a number of people. But let me tell you some of the reasons. It's not because the state government is playing funny games, not at all. But sometimes it could be system error. Sometimes it could be the failure. You know how pension contributions are paid. It is done from a central point. Yeah, and just like salaries as well, because we also pay people in the old scheme. Sometimes you pay and it fails. Sometimes is a PIN issue, a PIN error issue. Because as we sit right now, we engage, even PENCOM picks all these issues that we are talking about. That, people's contributions that were remitted that they could not even reconcile at the right time. There are so many technical issues. So it's not like the state government is playing games. Most of the time, it could be due to PIN error. It could be to schedule. It could be a slight error in your name or PIN number can cause that issue. You will notice that it will happen for some time and then it will stop. It means that reconciliation is still ongoing. And part of the engagement we have with all, because Lagos State government, we have quarterly meetings with all the PFAs. We check their books for you to know how much scrutiny we put into what they do. So it's not like, oh, they just take our money and then they go away. No, not at all. So we do all of that and we still have a team that still reconciles this. And that's why I said, if you notice such error, please come to LASPEC because they have to find the money where it is. The fact that it was deducted from your salary means that that money is somewhere. So it is your sweat. I know that it can be frustrating, but please ensure that that money is reconciled and refunded back into your RSA. There are teams who work on it. If the complaint is a lot, we would have to take it up. We'll have to take it up to management level, but it must be done. It's not a LASPEC issue. Neither is it the state government's fault. It could just be payment platform messes up at a particular point. It could be due to PIN error. It could be due to one name or the other. I mentioned while I was making my presentation that some people's money are sitting in another person's money. So there are ongoing reconciliation. PENCOM has given a deadline. All the PFAs must reconcile those money. So if you still have outstanding issues like that, please don't be tired. So please ensure that until that fund is refunded, you're not going to say, okay, come on, Molo, because you have worked for it. Okay, so if you're still having issues with missing contribution, please get the pay slips and come to LASPEC. If you have to check every 4 months, please do it and ensure that your remittances, your contributions are remitted into your RSA. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Engineer Williams, you can visit her in our office last week, sir. Thank you, sir. Shita Adigun, Bilkis, unmute yourself.
Hello,
Your
good
name.
evening.
Good
Okay.
evening. Your name, your
Good evening.
ministry.
Okay, my name is Shita Adigun Bilkis Yetunde from Koshofe Local Government. So I
Right.
have like 4 questions for our response. So the first question
Make
is
it start.
similar to the first person that called that asked the question. When we started service at 2008, our money was deducted, but it was not remitted in our PFA. So now, if I want to say I want to make claim on that money that was not remitted, fortunately for me, I've changed my pension manager. I've changed from IBCC to Leadway. Where do I start from? Is it from LASPEC or from IBTC or to from Leadway? That's the first one. Then the second one, when she was doing the lecture, she said that contract staff are entitled to pension. I have not seen it happen o. Maybe it's me that have not seen it happen, that contract staff, because majorly what they do is after a year or two they'll say they have disengaged them, they should reapply again. How do they get their pension in between? Then number 3, I have a colleague that died along the line in service, but it was not up to 10 years in service. That's 2008. It was not up to 10 years. And does it mean that that person is not entitled to anything in service? Then the fourth one, I think I heard, I don't know, I stand to be corrected, when she said you get your entitlement within 48 hours. How does it work? I don't know if I'm the one that didn't get her right. Please, I just want her to clarify that side. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
so all right, thank you. So the issue, just like I mentioned, with missing contribution, that there are a lot of technicalities, I tell you, and that's why the National Pension Commission introduced a payment platform. So there are about 8 or 9 of them right now, such that these issues will not reoccur again. Because if any, maybe name or PIN is not correct, they will not allow that payment to go. Those were some of the issues they had before that caused all this delay. So that's one. Please ensure it is still your responsibility. The fact that you move from one PFA to another has nothing to do with it, because you are still carrying the same PIN. You don't have
Okay.
you don't have anything to do with the PFA. Come and sort it with LASPEC first. You don't have, once it's sorted, they will send your money into that PIN. Do you understand? They will take your, you don't have any business with PFA. Whether you have moved from one to another, it does not matter. The fact that it is only one PIN you have. Then what I mentioned about the contract staff is this. Under the labor law, I know you are not supposed to employ somebody for contract for so many years, which is why after 2 years, they will disengage them and ask them to come back. The law, the Lagos State Pension Reform Act of 2019 says this law applies to all employees. So if I know that in some local governments, I know that very well, that they employ these people as contract staff, and every year they will keep renewing the contract. That is not even right under labor law. The fact that we're getting away with some of those things does not make them right. Okay, so let me give you a practical example. Neighborhood employed over 400 people for a while back, and after a while, for one reason or the other, they asked all of them to go. They were contract staff, but either they knew or not, they were contributing for them. Okay, and so when those people were asked to go, they wrote to us that, oh, we opened RSA for these people, but we've asked them to go. Please refund employers' contribution. We said there's nothing like that. They have worked for it, they have earned it, and so they will go away without your money because you have contributed for them. Where we are getting away is that we are not contributing for them. If you contribute for them, they will go away with it. So there's nothing like employers' contribution refund. They don't refund anything like that. But what we're even saying, other than the law, is that we should put a human face to this. You cannot, the people on contract are usually, in some local governments, are very old people, maybe security, Babacon, you understand, and all of that. We will do them a disservice if we keep them perpetually and not give them employment. You understand? Because if whatever it takes, if it's a security guy, maybe level 1, level 2, we've seen terrible cases of people who died and they were on contract for over 10 years. And so the family thought they had entitlement. They were running around, one lost a letter of administration. You know how much it costs to do a letter of administration. And then they came and we said, oh, it's contract staff. Who does that? So we, other than, oh, this is what the law says, we should consider them. If we are helping them, for how long are you going to help somebody? If you are helping them and you cannot, and they've been with you and they are good, please find a way to employ them. That's my position on contract staff. But the law applies to every employee of the Lagos State government. Okay. On death case, if that person did not join the service of Lagos State government before 2007, that person will not have accrued rights, will not have past benefits. But if the person joined after service, after the CPS, and died intestate, and died, of course, without a will, in service, the person will only be entitled to what he or she has in the RSA and the death benefit insurance. Oton, you understand? There's nothing like bond because the person came after the scheme, the contributory pension scheme started. But the person will be entitled to the death benefit insurance, and that can be processed from his or her office up onto Ministry of Finance and all of that. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you, ma. Because of time, let me just take 3 question more, then we check on we have the questions on the chat box too. Okay, Mudashiru Monsurat, your name, your ministry, and your question, please.
Good evening. Good evening, all.
Good evening.
My name is Mudashiru Monserrat from Mushin Local Government. I want to make during this section, she told us that we are meant to have an interest on our on our contributory pension. So I want to ask her, is it that interest that appears as gross/loss for the period on our quarterly statement that is sent via email? Then also, she said something about last peg that all things being equal, if you've done your normal documentation and everything, you get your refund within 48 hours. I want to ask the question, is it applicable to people that were recruited after April 2007 or to all officers? Thank you.
Thank you. I think a lot of people probably you're misquoting what I said about the 48 hours. I said when your documentation is complete, if you belong to the category of people who should have the bond certificate, we have issued you the bond certificate, you have completed your documentation with the PFA. We don't pay you money. Lagos State Pension Commission does not issue check. We don't pay cash into your account. We only pay into the RSA. So if you fall into the category of people who should have accrued right, the bond certificate, we will only credit your RSA. The payment, it's one thing, it's like a check. Somebody gives you a check, you take it to the bank. Sometimes they will ask you to go and pay it into your current account, So when you pay it into your RSA, the bank will then pay you, Abi. The PFA, before now, will take weeks, sometimes months, before they are able to pay you, before you are able to access cash. What I said is that some of the updates in the industry is that the PFA does not have to wait for so long anymore. Within 48 to 72 hours, the PFA on their own will start paying the pensioner. The same thing applies if you don't even have accrued rights, but you joined after 2007 and you're out of the system and you want to go and draw your pension or your 25%. When you have completed your documentation with the PFA, they will pay you within 48 to 72 hours. Payment is from the PFA, not from LASPEC. I hope that's clear.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right.
Then,
Thank you.
ma, there's this part that you said that if someone has a contributed pension of, say, that you make an instant, okay, say 6 million, that you are meant to have an interest and accrued it or something like that, if I'm right, ma.
Yes,
That
you're right.
I'm not asking that, on quarterly basis, they send us statement via our email. There's a particular place that is not clear to me. Usually the narration is gain/loss for the period, which is always the last thing that is added to what I
Yes,
have as my. Is that the
yes,
gain that you're talking about?
yes, that's
Okay,
the
ma.
game. Yes, that's the game.
Okay, ma.
That's the game.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. Thank you so much, ma.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma.
Thank you, Monsurat.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Oyesomi Mutiat. Is it that there is no male here on this call?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Your name and your
During
ministry.
your lecture, Education, District 6.
Okay, go ahead now.
During your lecture, you said migration is within 1 year. One can do migration once in a year. Does it attract charges? And can we come to your office to come and do the migration? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, no, so transfer, we call it the transfer window. You can only move. So if you don't like maybe your IBTC or you don't like your leadway, and you check what your mates, what the income, on their own contributions, and you see that what I pay better, yes, you can choose to go to, but you go and identify the PFA that you want to move in first. And one Lemakokoloba, go and deal with them. They will give you the form, you fill it. You don't even need to let the other PFA to know about it. You understand? You don't have any business with your current PFA. Just go and meet the other PFA. But it's important that you do your data recapture so that it's easy, seamlessly. You won't see anymore whether you have moved or not. Do you understand? So identify the PFA of your choice. Go there. I want to do transfer. They'll give you the form, all your details, will give it to them. They will quietly do it for you and your money will move. But you need to inform your employer. Oh, you understand? You need to inform your employer. Let them know I've moved. Oh, because that's one thing that we must not leave behind. And I think it's a thank you very much for that question. Please inform your employer. I've moved to me since that big more lobby by you. Let them know. Okay. It's important once you do that. So, and it does not attract any charges. As I have moved from last week. So I see a lot of things. I moved 3 times. And I say until I get the best, I will not stop. I will keep moving. I'm not loyal to anybody because it is my money. If you don't invest it well, tomorrow I will have tomorrow to take care of that. So I'm looking out for my interest. You should also do that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, ma. So let us keep moving. I will move soon. Lamino Kadiri. Lamino Kadiri, unmute yourself, your name, your ministry, and your question.
Yeah, good evening, sir. And
Good
thank
evening,
you,
sir.
thank you, our presenter, for this lovely lecture.
Thank you, sir.
I am
Thank you, sir.
Olubu Ngalamin of Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems. Yeah, my
Yes, sir.
question is on the document, the required document for processing benefits. There is one you mentioned, promotion letters, and you mentioned about CTC. Does
Yes,
that
sir.
mean you have to take them to the court to do something about them, or just the original copy of the promotion letters? That is
No
one.
worry. Okay.
Then you mentioned about another document, personalized something. I couldn't get that one.
Okay.
Then lastly, on the bond calculation, you did mention gender. So I'm worried that
I
is it
mentioned
that
gender. Did I omit?
gender?
Yes, gender is important.
So I'm asking that, does that mean that for a male and a female that join the service the same day, their calculations will be different? That's what I just want to know.
Absolutely. Okay, so let me start from that. Yes, it will be very different. You join service the same date, you were born the same date, got promotion at the same time, and you retired both as directors on the same grade level. Yes, your accrued rights will be different. Okay, because gender is a factor. Please don't crucify me. I am not the one who developed the table. There's a mortality table that is used to calculate pension worldwide. And Lagos State government also, we are part of that system. And so I want to put you through the process for you to understand that please don't make the assumption that LASPEC, they sit on their own and determine what you get alone. No, it's not possible. For you to know that your information, one, is very critical. The importance of pension is not something you can actually undermine at all. So Lagos State, when a file comes to LASPEC, I'm just reiterating what I'm trying to say, that when a file comes to LASPEC, somebody who has retired or left service voluntarily, and we are to calculate the person's accrued rights, we will check your file from beginning to the end. Your career will be progressed accurately. When we progress, we determine what level you were as at that time. We have an independent actuary who also does this, carry out this same calculation. They are an independent company. They are not even a Nigerian company, but they work here. They have international branches. They will certify what we have done. When that is done, it is until then that we now take it to the state auditor general or the local government auditor general. You can see the levels of scrutiny and assessment that every payment goes through. So LASPEC does not on its own determine, okay, it doesn't work like that. When it gets to the auditor generals, they can still query it and say, no, owó ìkéré, level yìí kọ́, blah, 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 until we sort that one, the back and forth, which is sometimes what causes the delay. Until they agree and we agree, that is when somebody's accrued right is computed and approved for payment. So when the auditors finally approve, they send it back to LASPEC before LASPEC can then issue a retirement bond certificate. So, like I said, the key indices are one, your sex, your date of birth, your date of assumption, your grade level and step, which will determine your pensionable salary and allowances, basic allowances and all of that. So yes, it is very important. It's something that you must pay attention to. The other documents that I was trying to mention that you said you didn't get, I said personalized vehicle clearance letter. That must be you can get that from PSO, and this is for grade level 15 and above. It is only for this group of directors that must get that clearance. Whether you took one or not, you have to get a personalized vehicle clearance letter from PSO. Your promotion letters, copies, at least you should have copies in your files. It is when those ones are missing that they will call you to say, oh, yeah, Oga, go and get we can't find your promotion letter, maybe from grade level 14 to 15. Or so if there are things that are not included in your file and we need it, they will call you to provide it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma.
Welcome.
Mr. Awejami, you have the floor, sir. Your name, your ministry, sir.
Hello, good evening, madam.
Hello,
Thank you
sir.
for all your
You
My
have the
name
floor.
is,
You
I
have the
know,
floor.
I'm going to, thank you. My name is Awejami Abiodun. I work with
Okay.
Civil Oil and Gas Corporation.
Okay.
Now, I have about 3 questions that actually ask on one of these platforms that we reserved for you today because it's your call. Now, one, you mentioned something that has to do with a code of conduct papers and forms or clarifications. Please, I want you to help us make a better clarification on that. I know you spoke around it, but it was just a mention or a kind of list of some of those things we need to do. Because I
Okay.
am too sure some of us do not actually do this, and I know it's always going to affect when it comes to pension issue. That's number
Mm.
one, man. Two, I also spoke to issue of people who either resign voluntarily or they withdraw or they retire somehow. And during resignation, as it were, as people are expected to pay maybe a month in lieu of notice or 3 months in lieu of notice because they
Mm.
leave either they want to leave instantly. So
Mm.
there's also this unclear aspect of it. Of some people are just mischievous. They say they don't know what needed to be done. What part of the salary are they paying from? Are they paying their basic? Are they doing their gross? Are they doing their net? We need to have education around this. And the third part of it, I don't want to dwell so much on this because of the peculiarity of it with the state government. We have some ministry where we have field officers that are particularly contract staffs. And these ones, pensions are actually taken out of their salary, and the renewal of their salary of their appointment is always 2 years. But this, I think I can speak with you privately on this because it's an
Yes,
issue
sir.
that is sensitive. We are speaking around it. I think I will just speak with you around that. The fourth part of it is the issue of uh, um, the PFA, as it were. If any of the PFAs, no, let me speak it to LASPEC. If LASPEC will guide us to say that before you are cleared for IFA, you must not be owing any cooperative society. I want to be specific that you are not
Okay.
owing any cooperative society for you to get your bond cleared or you have to get your normal PFA. What can LASPEC also do to those employees also who paid into cooperatives that are withholding some people not to get their funds, but they are owing employees who are either retiring or resigning, and they are not paying them. Now I'm owing now. I can't get my money. I can't get my bond, and I can't get my PFA. But if I
Mm.
have a cooperative, let's say zero interest, who is even outside the government, is an individual cooperative or even teachers cooperative, whatever cooperative, and they are owing me up to 10 million. Now I want to leave, and they are owing me. So does he have any kind of inclusiveness they are going to make within that staff, with that cooperative, or is only when I'm owing them that they will come on me? Thank you, man.
Okay, thank you very much. I will start from the last questions. And it's funny that I'm handling something like that at the moment. Okay, so what we have done with time, if you notice, is that we allow you to get clearances from Ministry of Commerce and Cooperative and all of that, just to ensure, okay? But you're also aware that Ministry of Commerce actually told the PFA cooperatives for them to have their names, and so that Lagos State government is not dragged into all the issues they have. The government is not being sued because of cooperative matters and all of that. What is important, what we have been doing before now, is still what is being done, but is subject to review because of the issues we are having lately. Is this: if somebody's accrued right is 2 million and that person is owing cooperative, let's say 2.3 million, if we give the cooperative 2 million, it will still not cover their money. So we would call that person and say, is it true you are owing cooperative? Can you not go and sort that matter out so that we can pay you? Okay. But Lagos State government will be subject to further litigations if we keep holding that person's money for a long time. So we would engage cooperatives and the Ministry of Commerce and Cooperative later, maybe in the new year by God's grace, on how to resolve this. Because we don't want to owe people's benefits because they are owing cooperative. Yes, we want to help the cooperative. So we need to find a middle ground. If you have money somewhere and you can pay off the cooperative, why not just do that and make that a personal transaction and not drag, pension into it? Because this person worked for the state government and earned this money. The state government is liable. That's the Lagos State government's liability to that person. That person should be paid. So we don't want cooperative to hold us by the neck and say, oh, this person is owing me, so we cannot pay their pension. No. We need to find a way. What we have been doing in the past is, cooperative rights, and then we say, okay, Mr. Lagbaja, is it true you are owing cooperative? Oh, yes, it's true. In that instance, it is okay. But in the case whereby we cannot, the money is not even enough to cover cooperative, are we going to hold the retiree to ransom? So if somebody is owing the state government, it is our own responsibility. What LASPEC does is that you cannot owe the Lagos State government at retirement. It will not affect back. And the Lagos State government must not owe you, which is why when we are processing people's paper or approval for bond, we will check your statement. And if you have period that you were not paid, we will call you and say, go and sort that matter. Let government pay you. We don't want government to owe you. After we have paid you, you will now come back and say government is owing you. No. So we are gatekeeping, not just for the state government, but for all employees of the Lagos State government. Okay? So we don't want you to owe government, and we don't want government to owe you. So if you are owing government, then that's a challenge, and there's no way you'll be able to refund. Because without clearance, PFA, you will not be able to access it. Some people will say, oh, don't worry, go and access the one in PFA. PFA is like a savings account, personal savings account. Nobody has access. Even the state government does not have access to your RSA. So when you share for work on, it's a pathetic case because we've seen so many cases like that. But we will say, if you can just pay government, even if you have more money in your RSA, go and sort this basic, clear this one, so that you can have the money, access to what you have in your RSA. So it's a very dicey matter. It's one that we are hoping that going into the new year, most of these issues will be resolved when it comes to payment. Then the question you asked about the code of conduct. Yes, I said asset declaration certificates from Code of Conduct Bureau. And this is from grade level 10 and above. It is part of your requirement. If you don't have it, they will still call you to bring those documents for your bond processing. I hope that's clear. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma. I
Thank you.
will pick only one more person because Madam is still going to
Oh, sorry, I didn't answer one of his questions. I'm sorry.
dish a dinner for herself.
Sorry, sir. Mr. Jamiu, please, I just remember, because I
Okay,
talked about penalty for short notice. So penalty, the way it is calculated is that, yes, payment in lieu of notice is accepted. But if you run foul of the PSR rule 020801 on appointment, promotions, and leaving the service, you would pay. The penalty is usually calculated by your basic monthly salary times the notice period not served. So if you're a grade level 14 officer, you earn 250 as a monthly basic salary and you resign without notice, the penalty is 250,000. So you see, it's FT. So this is something that we must take note of and may do the right thing. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, man. So I will call only one. Okay. I think Mr. Awe, you still want to, Mr. Awe, unmute yourself.
Yes, thank.
Hello?
Hello. Yes.
Okay.
Hello. Thank you. The question is not. There are two questions that are still not clear to me there. The answer right. The one I spoke to is if somebody is resigning or withdrawing from service, and it's within the window period that they can still pay the leave of notice. I want to go maybe November 5, like tomorrow, or November 4th, tomorrow, but I'm not ready to spend the mandatory 1 month or 3 months, and I want to pay. I'm now asking, what is the payment standard? Is it going to be on gross, or is it going to be on net payments that that person or that employee is taking? Because sometimes it becomes very ambiguous or not clear when you see employee will come and say, no, it's only the basic I'm supposed to pay. No, they are going to remove all the this and that. That's what I'm saying you should explain to us, ma. That's the first one that is not really clear to me. The second one you also spoke to is this issue of loan or no loan. What I'm speaking to there is, ma, if the last spec can stand in as a stopgap between government and employee on issue of loan, if my total pension is like say 4 million, and I'm owing cooperative even just 1 million, what it means is that if I don't pay the 1 million, I may not be able to have a clearance to the access of the 4 million or the remaining 3 million I have. That one is owing that is not even owing more than what it's supposed to take. What I'm now saying is, if cooperative is owing an employee of government that you can stand in as a stopgap for when he's going or she is going, let's say zero interest cooperative, I just make that as an example, is owing me 10 million. They are the one owing the employee 10 million, and the employee is ready to leave, either retired or she's retiring or is resigning. What is the stopgap that the pension would do around this if they can stand in for those cooperative when they are owing them? Now, if now the cooperative are now owing employee, what do you do, ma? Thank you, ma.
Okay, so thank you very much. The first thing is the contract between you and your cooperative is personal. The contract between you and your cooperative is personal. We're not even aware of it. You understand? So if the cooperative is owing you, there is a ministry that can actually call them to order. They have meetings and all of that. So that is the ministry that has the mandate, okay, to deal with cooperatives in the Lagos State Public Service. So the pension will not come in at this point because this has nothing. It's a contractual agreement between you and your cooperative. So we will not be able to get involved if the cooperative is owing you money. However, what we're also trying to wriggle ourselves out is your commitment. I don't think the cooperative will hold your files and say, don't send the file to LastPay because you are owing me. I do not think that's what is happening, because what I'm aware of is that if you are owing them, they send letter to us and say, this person is owing me. Please help us collect our money from his entitlement. That is what I'm aware of. So it's not like they will say, we will not issue you clearance. They will issue clearance, but they will come to us and ask that would help them to deduct or to take back or recover their loans from the employee. That is what is obtainable. There's no way, we actually don't even allow banks. I know a lot of people who took loans from credit, what's it called? Credit Kilonje. Mama, they will write to us, even banks will write to us. Yes, people will write to us and say, yes. Banks, they write to us and say, this your staff is owing me. Agreement, we were not there. You can't ask us to take from their pension. Do you understand? So we try to exonerate ourselves because your pension benefit is not allowed, cannot be subjected to claims or any conflict. It doesn't happen with pension. Okay, so we are trying to ensure that at least that part is protected. Everybody who has worked with Lagos State government can at least have something to go home with. But the only problem ni pé má jẹ́ ìjọba tó ń protect ẹ lówó. Ibẹ̀ yẹn ní issue lè wà. I hope that's clear on there. Then the other question, in lieu, it's supposed to be on basic. It's not full salary. My understanding, our other admin directors are here, so maybe they can. If you take 1 month, it is supposed, if you give notice of 1 month, or you, if your notice period is 1 month, your penalty will be 1 month's basic salary. For both, for junior staff from grade level 1 to grade level 10, the senior staff as well. If your notice period is 1 month, so your penalty for that period is actually 1 month's basic salary. They're not asking for your full salary. From management level and directorate, grade level 12 and above, your notice period is supposed to be 3 months. So your penalty will be 3 months basic salary. That's to the best of my knowledge. Okay, so mo fẹ́ lọ sin, let them pay as well. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome,
I will only take two questions from different participants. I have like 8 here, but I will choose. Please forgive us if we couldn't pick your question or pick you. It's due to time. This is what's time now? To 10, and our facilitator is still going to office tomorrow. And so we have to consider that she's a mother to take care of the children and daddy. So only 2 questions, and I will randomly pick people here. So please don't be angry that we are doing nice service. I don't know anyone here. Okay, Adeshina Omolola, you have the floor. Unmute yourself, Adeshina.
Good evening, sir.
Your name, your ministry, and your question be brief, please. Quick one. Good evening.
Yes. Please actually partake in the old scheme and also new scheme, but unfortunately that is in active service. How does the family, how do they process the officers' benefits?
Sorry, can you take that question
How do
again?
they access it, please? Thank you, sir.
Can you take that question again, please? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Okay. For an officer, okay. For an officer who cuts across old and new scheme pension, but dies in active service, how does the family access his or her contributory pension, the benefits he has contributed so far?
Okay, so my understanding is that the person was entitled or still entitled to accrued rights, which we issue in the form of a bond certificate. Okay, so all the beneficiary will have to do is still visit the employer of the deceased and find out where they are on pension benefits. If they have sent the file to LASPEC, that's the first thing to confirm. Once the file comes to LASPEC, and since the person is deceased, so the beneficiary, they've got a lot of work to do. They will follow it up and ensure that the file comes to LASPEC. When it comes to LASPEC, they will meet the officers in charge of wherever the MDA, and then if there are documents they need, they will request from the beneficiary. But it is important to note that because the retiree died intestate, they will need a letter of administration. So it's best they start processing that one immediately, because bond certificate, we can process all the documentation if they have, process the bond certificate if they have enough documentation. But the bank will not give them bank statements without letter of administration. PFA, yes, will not also give them. Okay, so you see that as they are following up with files from the deceased ministry, they are also on their own running to get the letter of administration. That takes a bit of time, though it has improved. But when you have the letter of administration, you can go to the bank and say, we are the beneficiary of this so person. They can give you the bank statement, because LASPEC will insist on seeing that bank statement. They will not pay any benefit if the bank statement and the RSA statement are not included. So those two, we must see it, because sometimes when people die in active service, they still get paid for few months. Okay, sometimes it runs into a year. So the government will want to take back, any excess payment. It is important that those, but as they are processing file, please let them start working on the letter of administration, because eventually when everything is done, we have cleared the person, it has approval, and we have now issued bond certificates. The beneficiaries will not be able to, we will not give it to them until we see the letter of administration. So a whole lot falls on it. They will not even be able to access the payment from PFA without the letter of administration. So you can see that the letter of administration is actually very germane to accessing the deceased benefit. So once they have letter of administration and we have issued the bond certificate, the rest is with the PFA. So they will take the bond certificate to the PFA and then go through the verification process before all the funds in the account are now paid to the beneficiary. Okay, I hope that's clear.
Thank you very much, ma. So, last but not the least, I will pick Lion Adefunke Esan. Lion Adefunke
Thank you,
Esan.
sir.
Your name, your ministry.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma. And thank you for this beautiful presentation. My name is Mrs. Esan Adefunke, Education District 2. My question, ma, during my transfer window, we discovered that it is not every month that LASPEC do pay this PFA. That's what we were told, ma. I just want clarification on this. Thank you, ma.
Ma, but you are still in active service.
Yes, ma.
Okay, so it is not LASPEC that pays monthly contribution. It is from STO. Yeah, it is not Awako. It is from STO. They pay, but let me explain this to you. You know, the wage bill of Lagos State is over 8 billion in a month. And so payments, they don't pay. If you check your statement right now, I'm sure it probably stops about April right now this year. And we're already in November, because they're having issues with payment. We're remitting payment. We still had that discussion at the stakeholders meeting on Friday with all the PFAs. Lagos State will pay 3 months at a time. But now, the National Pension Commission has disbanded the old way of paying and introduced 9 payment platforms that everybody must pay their contribution to. So unlike before, Lagos State government will generate the schedule and send it to the bank will send it to the PFA, and they will credit, blah, 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 blah. It is not the same anymore. So it must go through that payment platform. Now, the Lagos State government is trying to reconcile everybody's account. So people that had PIN issues, or even by the time money start reflecting, some people will not get their own. All the issues that we have had in the past, that one way, was last week, one reconcile, we will not be able to cross over that what's it called now, that bridge, until we reconcile some of the issues we have. So Lagos, if you pick your Lagos State government's what's it called now, your retirement savings account, and you are in say November, the earliest you will see will be around July. But I know that we're having issues with payment now. So it's not like, oh, if they pay salary this month, I will see it reflect the same month. But the Lagos State government will not owe you. It is only because it's large due to what's it called now, platform issues, technical issues, there is delay, but they will always pay. If you go to STO, what I've told you is what they will tell you. If you go to CPDB, they will explain the same thing to you. They are having issues with payment platform now. Okay, somebody's saying June, yes. So that tells you. So you cannot say, oh, they are not paying us. No, they will deduct, they will pay you, but payment doesn't reflect immediately. It is only in agencies, those self-funding agencies, that are able, because of their size, they're able to quickly credit you and it will reflect immediately. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma. I want to, please permit me to just break the rules. Let me just pick these two people. Aminat Hamzat, unmute yourself.
Okay, good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Madam, well done. It was a very wonderful and educative session. I only want to, I just want to clarify on this part. I don't want clarification. I want to clarify. I'm happy I was able to get one very clear thing that is the basic that is supposed to be refunded. However, you mentioned that for level 12 and above is 3 months. But I just want to clear that the rules is that if it is less than 5 years, which is resignation, is 1 month in lieu, 1 month notice or 1 month salary in lieu of notice. And for those on withdrawal, which is less than 10 years, 5 years, but less than 10 years, is 1 month salary or 1 month notice or one. Then anything after 10 years, then it becomes 6 month notice or 3 month salary in lieu of no, irrespective of the grade level.
Okay, thank you very much for that observation.
Thank you, ma. Thank you so
Thank you,
much once
Mrs.
again.
Hamzat, that contribution. Kehinde Akere,
Good evening.
your name and your ministry.
I want to appreciate the facilitator. You have done a wonderful job. But
Thank
like
you, sir.
Mrs. Amina just clarified now, I want to clarify certain things regarding cooperative clearance.
Okay.
In course of your presentation, you did mention that cooperative does not stop people from collecting their entitlements.
I said
Right.
I'm not aware.
I want to clarify
Okay.
it.
All right, sir.
When people submit their clearance to cooperative through the Ministry of Cooperative, right, for clearance, cooperative will write the ministry that is owing.
Okay.
Based on that, the clearance, you cannot get clearance to come to LASPEC. So in a way, cooperative will always owe any retiring officer if it's owing. So if you are working on addressing this area, you should have it in mind that cooperative can hold somebody. If it's going to hold 1 naira, you owe the cooperative 1 naira. Cooperative right that is owing them. Right? Until that was sorted, you cannot get clearance to come to LASPEC. That's what I want to make as my own contribution to the presentation. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, there are many questions in the chat room. Please, see if we start saying if we start asking questions, this is so 10 already. Please, I'm appealing to every one of us. Those people, the question in the chat box and those who raise their hand, please let's please call it a day. Please, Madam is still there for us. We can still bring Madam anytime. Let's reserve our question, or we can send our question to the our group, WhatsApp group, and Telegram, our channels. Make use of the channels Madam is here on our channels to answer the question. Please, I'm appealing. Let's release Madam. This is 10. She's still going to office tomorrow as early as 8 o'clock. Thank you very much. Let me see your emojis, please. If you know that you are not angry with us, let me see your emojis and appreciate Madam. Let your emojis keep on coming. Out of 400, you guys, where are you? Don't please now. Thank you very much. So our normal culture here, we call on one of the participants to appreciate our facilitator on behalf of other participants. So we call on the last caller, Mr. Kehinde Akerele, to appreciate our facilitators. Mr. Kehinde, are you there, sir?
Yes.
Can you please help us on behalf of the participants? Please let the emojis keep on coming as Mr. Kehinde handles the mic.
Let me use this opportunity to appreciate our facilitator for the wonderful and brilliant presentation made to us. Like I said in my comments, I describe it as pension process made easy. The way she presented it in sequence, right, shows that if you follow the process, right, most of the challenge we do have in service that we don't follow process, right, we keep complaining. Right, if you follow what she presented to us now, it shows that pension process is not as difficult as she made it to be. Right, do you know what the needful? It's a contract thing, right? And our president has really helped us to identify all the whole gray area regarding the pension process. So I really appreciate you, and God will always enrich your knowledge more and more. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Kehinde. Once again, I would like to appreciate, thank all our donors, those who that contributed towards the expansion of this call. I'm telling you now that we can accommodate 800 now, so no more kicking out. As times goes on, we can still expand it to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 and more. So I'm using this opportunity to thank every one of us that, put their hand into their pockets during these difficulty times to contribute towards the expansion of the capacity. And we'll be able to do justice to that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam, for your time.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you for always being there for us. Give us backing on this our initiative. Thank you very much, Ma.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Yes,
I will say goodbye, every one of us. Good night, be lovely night rest.
Okay.